Hey everybody, and welcome to another amazing episode of SEO Bros. I'm Ben, this is Yaron, and today we have our first ever guest, Ariel Cohen, who has his own website, and he's going to get roasted live.
It's scary. You made it
Yeah,
sound scary.
you look
Don't be scared.
you look very scared. You should be scared. And no, we're excited. We're excited. You're in an exciting industry. You have your own recording studio?
Yes, I do. I'm
Cool.
making I came from the world of composing. Like first encounter for me with music was when I was 10 years old, I think,
Oh, wow.
or 11. Started learning how to play guitar, and then I started writing some songs. I fell in love with it, and after that, I went to I served in the IDF. After the IDF, I went to study in Rimon, which is a contemporary music school in Israel.
Nice.
Yes, I studied music production and sound
Hmm.
design. And then I went to the field of music for film.
Hmm.
I
Wow.
did, I did a couple of years in this industry, and
Is like
now
Hans Zimmer your god when it comes to music and film?
actually Hans Zimmer is pretty good. Yes, he's a genius, but my god is John Williams. If
John Williams, like
anyone
which?
knows him,
Which movies do you do?
Yeah.
well, he's the best
Is that the
overall.
Transformers guy?
No, he made Harry Potter.
Okay, the
He
Wow.
sound
made
for Harry
Indiana
Potter.
Jones, Jurassic Park,
Mm.
Star Wars.
Ah, it's the guy from. Okay,
Yeah,
okay, makes
Maybe we'll
sense.
roast
Makes
him
sense.
next.
Who did Dune?
yeah.
Do you know who did Dune?
Dune, it's Hans Zimmer. Yes.
Okay.
Hans
He
Zimmer's
won
the
he won an
best.
Oscar for this, actually.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
It was crazy. That's why I was asking. I didn't know it was Hans Zimmer, but it was amazing on Dune. The sound,
Yeah,
music.
it's a
Wow.
crazy soundtrack.
All
Yeah.
right, so let's check out your site, man.
All right, let me
Yeah.
I'll share my screen. Oh, hold on. It's too many
As I
tabs.
mentioned before we started recording, this site is, I think it might be a bit too small for the podcast. I hope not, but it deals with a side project that I'm currently doing, which is recording songs um, for
Friends.
special occasions. Yes,
That's
like
Hmm.
great.
weddings or bar mitzvahs, or if someone needs a recording for the chuppah, you know?
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, and
So I'm gonna interrupt here for a moment. Everybody who's watching, this is Hebrew. If you don't
yeah,
know, yeah, the website is in Hebrew. There's no English version, but
You need
SEO
an
is
English
SEO.
version.
yet, yet,
You need an English version, yeah.
yes.
What do you-
That depends. Depends if his
Yeah,
target
depends
audience
on you.
is
Yeah,
in English.
right.
From what
Okay.
I see, not sure.
So you have the homepage, you have About Us, then you have How It Works,
Hmm.
Services, and Contact Us.
See about us, what we do, how it works, and the
Services.
options, services, and some of our work. Where does
Nice.
this go? Okay, this opens up. Interesting.
On the site?
Okay, so it's like a video recording studio. It's like you do video recordings, or is it just a
Yeah.
soundtrack that you do?
Yeah, actually, I have multiple tiers for this. Like I have
Hmm.
only the recording. It's like it costs, you can see 600 new Israeli shekels. And
Mm-hmm.
if I want to, if the customer wants to record video as well, then the package is uh,
Mm-hmm.
more
Great.
advanced.
Mm-hmm.
My first
So
glance, I would say that I would definitely launch a blog, but I would make each of these services its own services page.
you took the words out of my mouth.
Oh, and then for that, you could put more content, description of what the service is, customer testimonials,
I,
more
I was
images,
I was going with the
examples.
direction of keywords. Like these all could be targeting like what you would call money keywords, like keywords with high buy intent.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, everything is on the homepage, which is unlikely to be a correct structure for websites selling services. You should create product pages and do one for each product. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
You'd need to do some keyword research to find out what those keywords are and how to implement them inside. But yeah, definitely for each product, find a keyword,
Yeah, that makes sense.
associated keyword. It could be that the video ones might come together into one, but the audio should be separate from the video, most
Mm.
likely. I think
Yep.
just by, I don't know, I didn't research it, but logically speaking,
You
probably a
Google
different
it,
keyword here.
you look at the search results. You can use a SEO tool to find the best keyword has the most search volume. And then you
Mhm.
just compare, you see, okay, what's ranking? If all the first 10 are mostly product pages, you need a product page. If it's a
Mhm.
blog post, you need a blog post.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
basically you understand what the intent behind the keyword is. Like we as SEOs, we don't choose the intent of the keyword. We look at what Google says. Like
Yeah,
Google tells us what the intent is.
Yep.
Uh, After a few years, you learn to recognize the intent just by looking at the keyword structure. So you don't need to check each one, and you get it correct by about, I don't know, 80% of the time, I
really.
think. Yeah, you can understand the intent just from looking at the keyword. Because you
Yeah.
understand like search behaviors and what people type to find what.
Yeah. So
But
so
yeah.
you're saying SEO tools, is it an app or is it something
So SEO tools. Ben, do you have any free recommendations? Like I've got the luxury of having enterprise versions of SEO tools, so I've never had to look for
I use
anything
I use
free.
Ahrefs.
Ahrefs, does it have a good free version?
I think it's yeah, some basic version of it, but we'll have to come up with more. Keywords anywhere is pretty cheap.
Hmm.
keywords
Maybe
Um,
SEMrush has an empty, like a cheap or free version?
I don't think so.
No? Or you could
writing
also
everything down?
outsource this.
Yeah,
You could
Yaron
also
could do the keyword
outsource.
research for you, no problem.
Yeah. I mean, it's a service we provide. We're a bit expensive, but if not me, there's a bunch of freelancers out there
Yeah,
that can do the work, do the keyword research.
Mm-hmm.
You want to find somebody who has experience in the field, has experience in doing it in Hebrew, because Hebrew is a bit like I
Yeah.
think Ben, you and I spoke about it, like chatted about it. Like keyword research in Hebrew is a bit tricky sometimes
yeah,
because the words change based on like Beirushalayim, Meirushalayim, so it's a completely different
Mm.
word. Like from Jerusalem, in Jerusalem, those all become one word. Um, just as an
yeah.
Interesting.
example.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
wherever
you need,
we are, we're always all the roads point to Jerusalem.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
There you go. Ben taking that
Yeah.
religious.
What do you think about this big video playing on the homepage?
So first of all, I don't like the text that is it's in white. It's hard to see in many occasions in the video. Um, I think it's a bit hectic in my opinion. But that's a design opinion option. I would bolden the text for sure. Make it come out. Maybe give it a framing. That's an
Mhm.
option always. Um, but I think like I want like this is weird to me. This logo up here is a bit weirder to me than the video.
Yeah,
Mm.
Um, the WhatsApp is
The
going
logo is
to
going to
WhatsApp.
change. I'm not sure about if the location is going to change, but the logo, this
So there's
specific
a lot
logo
of
won't
dead
be the,
space. Like it's a
excuse me?
very small logo for a very big
Yeah.
location.
yeah,
So I would do something a bit more custom for that.
Hmm.
And I'm guessing this is linking to the bottom, yeah, to the sections, except for this
Additional
one.
services is a page. Yeah.
Hmm. But okay, so you do like podcast production. Okay. I don't know how you call this in English, Ben. Maybe you can help here. Like a drasha for your bar mitzvah.
A drasha.
A drasha. Okay, that's
Russia.
the English. A drasha. It's like a chuppah song for when you get married and audiobooks. So you do audiobooks as well, recording.
Yes.
Interesting.
Super cool.
So,
Whatever I can record, I'm very good at pressing recording.
I would
oh,
suggest
okay.
that your SEO is going to be big because you're in Israel. I think like for the Israeli market, it's less competition, but I would say your LinkedIn would be the best channel for you.
Really?
Just to share what you do, share images, video, share snippets of things you've recorded,
hmm
and
Nice.
just reach out, engaging with your target audience, you know?
Definitely.
Pick out a persona and just go all in on LinkedIn, maybe Instagram also.
Instagram
Yeah.
is also very big here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when I look at this, my mind already goes to clusters. So
Mm-hmm.
what clusters are in SEO is like imagine like a family tree but upside down, where like audio and video recording is at the top, then it splits into audio and video, and then into different types of audio and different types of video. So it like trickles down and breaks down into actually a good family tree, like a normal family tree also works
That's
actually.
right side
You
up.
don't need to, yeah, right side up, yeah. You don't need to put it upside down. But like this could be going into your like audio uh, product page as a sub page of that product page. Um, and you need to do some keyword research, find a good way to visually structure it for you in like a mind map or
Mm-hmm.
organizational chart, and then build your menu and your website structure from there. Like your URL structure as well could be friendssongs.com/audio product slash podcast production,
Yeah.
right? And audio services is a page as well, right? And then there's a sub pages on top of that. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
seeing here like a potential for good clustering. Um, and you can do like blog, like Ben mentioned earlier, write blogs about topics like that relate to this to bring in some supportive, more tofu, if it's even tofu, um, like
You're
top of
gonna
the funnel.
explain. Yeah.
Yeah, top of the funnel, like a marketing
Oh.
funnel. So people at the top, where they're like they don't even know that they could use your services, but they're looking for like how do you record a podcast? They don't know that you exist, right?
Yeah.
You
So
could
you
do like
could
listicles, like lit with the best equipment to use for X.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
There's you could do a whole blog.
Best studios for recording your bar mitzvah thing.
hmm
And then you can put yourself at the top.
Yeah.
hmm
Of course. I'm in the top.
Of course, obviously.
So
Best, yeah.
you
I,
could
I
definitely build a complete blog that supports the product pages.
yeah. I was wondering, you were mentioning the idea of using like clustering.
hmm
I think like if I try to look at it from the customer's perspective,
hmm
a person that wants to record a podcast has very different um sheifot,
Aspirations.
aspirations than a person that wants to record for a wedding, like a
Yeah.
song for it. So you would still put them in the same branch of the tree, or is it?
So I would put them in the same branch of tree in terms of product. In the blog, a blog is a completely different segment. There I would segment by categories,
Mhm.
but I would reinforce with internal links to whatever is relevant, right? So if you want to work on your bar mitzvah category, right, you can write stuff about that's relevant to recording and bar mitzvah.
Mhm.
Like find those keywords that are relevant to both topics, write about them, and then build internal links from the blog pages to push as much as you can to the product pages. Also
Mhm.
create a conversion funnel and CTAs, and then there's a whole shebang to be done there, right?
Yeah.
But you got to start writing on topics that are relevant to your target audience, right? If I'm looking to get, if I'm interested in bar mitzvah recordings, right? I don't know, Ben, what would you look up? I'm so atheist that I don't even know what would somebody look up for it here.
I never had a proper bar mitzvah, so I have no idea.
You've never had a proper bar mitzvah?
Like when I was 23, they were like, "All right, let's do a bar mitzvah for you." So
Oh,
whatever.
really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Anyway, so I don't know. You need to look up at the topics that are relevant to it and then start writing about it.
But you can
Yeah.
even do you can even do your own podcast, and you can record a podcast episode explaining a topic, and then put the recording, and then put the not the script, what am I trying to say? The new
Midrasha. Mm.
the text. Get the text out from everything that was spoken and just put it on the page.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
And then that
The
ranks really
transcript, is
well
it?
in some cases. So
Yeah, that makes sense. So you're saying like an episode of the podcast for each blog post or something like this.
yeah, or just turn the podcast into a blog post.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
have a
you
podcast,
can repurpose content.
you spend like 20 minutes talking about things, and then you take out the transcript. There you go. Take out the text, put it there on the page, and edit it a little bit, and you have a blog post.
Yeah.
And people
Yeah, that
could
makes sense.
see, you could, that's like a way of advertising your own product. You're saying, look, here's what I recorded. People could see the quality of your recordings and whatever else.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So
that
yeah.
makes sense. And I was thinking about also in the additional additional services page, the one
So
that
where we
you
are,
show
yeah.
right now. I thought about for every like service to um to make a separate page as well that
Yeah.
describes the service and show
Yeah. So
examples and stuff like this. Do you think it would be a good idea?
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I meant when I said earlier that you're gonna have like an audio recording page, and then you're gonna have a separate page for each specific type of audio recording. But there's a structure to it, right? That
Mm.
follows that this is under like audio recording, and then do the same for videos. Definitely a separate page for each one because you're targeting different keywords, right?
Yes.
Uh, as you mentioned earlier, like recording a podcast is completely different than recording a drasha for your bar mitzvah, right?
That's right.
Completely different keywords, completely different target audience.
Right.
Um, so you got to
Yes.
separate those. You got to make that distinction. Definitely. One thing though, when you create those pages, reduce the scroll length. This is too much per service, right? There's
Oh,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 services, and I'm scrolling down. Am I zoomed in? No, I'm not. I'm not zoomed in. So this is very big per product, I think. But it's a design question. Would you agree, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, it's big,
It's big.
but he's about to redesign his own site. So I
Ah,
don't know
so
what it's
you're
going to
going
look like.
through a redesign.
Yeah.
yeah. It won't look exactly like this, but this is like the skeleton, I would
The
say,
template.
the
Hmm.
website. I think.
So
I'm
I would
wondering.
make
Sorry.
those make those shorter to scroll down because if I'm looking at your services and I've reached about here, I don't know if I'll scroll down and find this one, right? Or this one. They're
Yeah.
very far down in the scroll. It's important that you keep people engaged and have them meet what they need, especially when you're discussing like conversion and products. You want them to see it as soon as possible.
Yeah.
You don't want them to be scrolling and looking for it, right? If they're looking for it, the design is something's off. If it's too hard to find.
Yeah, so maybe I could use a gallery or something like this that would like
There's
position
a
each
there's a
service in
bunch of different ways to do it. You could do like a what's it called? A carousel where you move through the product and then you see the text changing at the bottom. There's a bunch of ways to do it.
yes.
Uh, but I would even put it if it's in the menu under like services, audio services, and it's right there like professional podcast production, it will be easier to find as well. So don't neglect the menu as well.
You mean like drop downs?
Yeah,
Yeah.
drop down menus. Yeah, if I scroll over here and I see instead of like additional services, it would say audio services. Then it would say like professional
Yeah.
product podcast production. Easy to find, quick. There's no hassle. Go straight to the point.
Yes. And only if they click the additional services, they would get to this
I
more
wouldn't put it
general
under
page.
additional. I would put it under audio. So audio services, because podcast is usually audio. It could be
Yeah.
also video, but usually speaking, it's audio. So I would put it under audio, or maybe you have a version for video as well. But
I do.
easy to find. So easy to find, I would say.
Yeah.
Try to
Yeah, that
make it
makes
as easy to
sense.
find as possible. And write more about it. Give examples, give like snippets of what you did,
Yeah.
and use those to share on LinkedIn and your socials, Instagram. Repurpose as much as you can. So if you have a podcast, use it in your website. If you like a recorded podcast, yeah, get a snippet of it for your website, for your LinkedIn, for your Instagram. Uh, republish it, redesign it for that specific platform, and use it.
Hmm. So you're saying if I have a post in Instagram, I could put it uh in my product page or in my blog post, and it will like
It will
uh
help. It will put more content. It will show what the product is,
mhm.
Yeah.
right?
They'll engage people more.
Yeah,
People will start
Interesting.
following you on those channels, and yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
I
Yeah.
think like first step I would say is I would recommend is go with some keyword research. I'm seeing there's some also Ben, what do you think about URL structures in Hebrew?
I have no idea. I've never done SEO in Hebrew, so I don't know.
Neither have I, so I also don't know. That's the
We're
thing.
the wrong people to do this podcast. Oh no.
I'm the wrong people for this podcast, I think.
Cut, cut,
No, no.
cut.
No.
Because then this happens, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, but I imagine that
Um,
Google's
I,
mechanism knows how
I'm
to
sure
But
Google
it
knows how
works.
to
code
scroll. It works. I'm sure it
it.
is.
Yeah.
We
I
have our
just
own
don't know.
podcast at Monday, and it's all in Hebrew, and it works,
Mm,
and it
okay.
Yeah.
ranks.
Um,
But yeah, I think we've given you a lot of ideas.
Yeah.
mhm.
Come
Insights.
back to us when you do the redesign, and let's do a follow-up, a sequel, follow-up
That could
episode.
be
Definitely.
that could be amazing, actually.
You know, like
Yeah.
a contestant show, like what are they now like now?
Yeah. You should
Definitely.
definitely
Definitely.
with each guest of your podcast, you should like rank them, you know, and
Oh
then
yeah,
On
yeah,
improvement. How
rank
did
our
they improve?
guests.
yeah,
Good idea.
make a table like in the Euro Cup.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, super nice to meet you, and we're excited about you what you're doing. Sounds
Yeah.
great,
Yeah.
especially the bar mitzvah drasha part. I think
Oh,
Yaron needs a new
Ben
bar
Ben
mitzvah.
loves it. I think Ben feels a bit like he was neglected when he had his bar
I
mitzvah.
missed out. I missed out. I got
I
a
don't
little
want to
FOMO.
I don't want to relive mine, man. I don't want to relive mine. I was I was
Was it a
my voice was
disaster?
changing when it
Mhm.
happened, like with everybody. It was embarrassing. I still feel the embarrassment.
Wow, we should do a new one. So to
You want to share
heal
one?
your
Want to
old
do a shared
memory.
one?
You should both come here and record your bar mitzvah drasha.
Yeah.
I don't remember mine.
Yeah.
I don't remember any of it. I don't even know.
Well,
Like,
we should do some keyword research before we make it.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. So
Yeah.
we're targeting the correct audience.
That's
Yeah.
right.
You should choose the right pasuk.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
What was that? Paragraph, verse,
Verse.
verse. Yeah,
Verse.
Amazing. Thank you so
amazing,
much. It's a
awesome.
Thank
wrap,
you. Thank you very much for the help.
and hope you enjoyed it. Follow us for more free tips on Bar
Yes,
Mitzvah Parshas.
I will.
Talk to you all later.
Talk
Thank
later.
you. Goodbye
Peace.
for now.